How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay, and today we need to talk about M1 Finance. As most of you know, I am a big fan of the M1 Finance platform. I have two portfolios at M1 Finance that are linked in the description of every one of the videos I make on this channel. But M1 Finance isn't without its problems. And today, I wanted to take the time to address one of those problems with you. And this is a problem that could be costing every M1 Finance customer thousands of dollars over the long run. You see, I spend a fair bit of my free time on the M1 Finance subreddit because, you know, that's what all the cool kids do with their free time. And the issue we're going to talk about today has been brought up numerous times over there lately as a major defect of the M1 Finance platform. And that has to do with how M1 Finance executes your trades when they're placed. For those of you unfamiliar with how M1 Finance works, it's a little different than your traditional brokerage where you simply log in, place your trade, and see it executed, regardless of when during the trading day you do that. M1 Finance works with two trading windows, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So if I have money in my M1 Finance account and I want to buy shares of QYLD, so what M1 Finance does is it takes my trade along with all the other trades placed by people on their platform, groups them all together, and executes them all at the same time within a window starting at 9:30 a.m. every day. Usually that window is about an hour, but according to M1, it officially closes once M1 has executed all of the orders they have. There's also an afternoon window that works exactly the same way. So if I want to buy shares of Tesla and I put my order in at noon during the trading day, it's not going to execute right at noon. It will get grouped with all the other trade orders placed on M1 during the day, and M1 will then execute those orders in their afternoon window, which starts at 3 p.m. and lasts till the market closes at 4. But the crux of the issue with these major complaints people have about M1 isn't necessarily with the trading window feature. It's about the price that these people feel their orders are executed at. They claim that within M1 Finance's trading windows, the trades always seem to execute around the highest possible prices that the shares trade at during those times. Now, it's important to note, none of these people have provided any hard data or real proof, so I decided to take just a quick look at some of my recent M1 Finance trades and see if there was anything there. The first trade was my normal $500 monthly deposit into my M1 Finance account that holds all my index funds. And this $500 went into buying shares of VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index ETF. This trade was executed during the afternoon 3 p.m. window, and my trade bought the shares of VTI at $223.89. So, did I get a good price for my shares of VTI, or is M1 screwing me over? Well, you can see here that at exactly 3 p.m. when that trading window opened, VTI was trading for $223.97. And when the market closed an hour later at 4 p.m., VTI closed at $224.17. So my order, which got filled at $223.89, seems like a pretty good price for the activity within that hour. But one trade does not a trend make. So in my $0 to $100,000 passive income account that I have at M1 Finance, I had some dividends that got reinvested today. And there were 3 trades that were made during M1 Finance's morning trading window. And first up, I got some shares of SPHD. My trade filled at a price of $49.16. At the opening of that 9:30 a.m. trading window, SPHD was trading for $49.12. And at 10:30 a.m., roughly when the trading window would have closed, SPHD was trading for $49.18. So my $49.16 order seems to be right in the middle of that range where SPHD was hanging out during the window. Next up, I got some shares of Divo, DIVO. I got those at $37.92 per share. At 9:30 a.m., Divo was $37.91 per share, and by 10:30 a.m., it had steadily risen to $37.99 per share. So my $37.92 is pretty darn close to the lowest price during that trading window. And my final trade was for some shares of SCHY. That trade filled at $25.58 per share. At 9:30 a.m., SCHY was trading for $25.55. At the close of the window an hour later, it was trading for $25.60. So I know that's just a small sample size, but I really don't see any evidence that M1 is filling any of its trade orders artificially high. But the price that M1 Finance is filling trade orders at isn't really my problem with this so-called issue, this deficiency that these people claim M1 Finance has. Because they claim M1 Finance is filling my orders artificially high, I'm not getting the best price when I place a trade. I'm leaving for another brokerage that does it better. And my question is, oh yeah? How exactly are you gonna make that work? Where is this paradise that you always get the lowest price when you place an order for stock? I don't care if you're at M1 Finance or if you're at Robinhood or Fidelity or TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, wherever. There is no way you can guarantee yourself the best or lowest possible price when you place an order for shares of stock. Now, if you need a refresher on the different ways you can place orders, check out my market order versus limit order video, which I'll have linked down below. But take for instance that I'm placing a market order during the same time frame that M1 Finance would be executing its trades. I'm not guaranteed to get a better price than I am on M1 Finance when I place that order. It all comes down to what the going price on the market is in the nanosecond I hit submit on that trade and it gets sent out. The price of those shares can and will jump higher and lower within the seconds and minutes before and after my order actually executes. Okay, Jay, but screw market orders. What about a limit order? What about when I set the exact price I want my trade to execute at? Okay, great, so let's set a limit order. With a limit order, I am going to get those shares at my set price. But again, who says the price that I type in is going to be any better or worse than what those shares could have been had for in the seconds or minutes before I execute that trade? This whole complaint people are raising really takes timing the market to a whole new level. But maybe I'm wrong. If you know of a way where you can always get the best possible price when you place an order, please let me know in the comments below. The other major issue I have with these complaints is that these people always claim to be long-term investors. And these differences in price are costing them thousands or tens of thousands of dollars over the long term. I can't even state how laughable of a statement that is. If you are truly a long-term investor, the minor fluctuations within any given day are absolutely irrelevant to the bigger picture. Even if I was absolutely guaranteed to get the lowest possible price a stock was trading for today when I place my order, it could go lower tomorrow. Are you still gonna be wringing your hands over the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars that's costing you over the long run? Of course not. And that's because if you're deciding to buy a stock today, that means that stock is already within a range you feel is a good value to buy at, right? I can't imagine a scenario where you're placing an order for shares of Tesla and you think that at $977, Tesla is a fantastic buy you were absolutely happy with. But at $979, oh my God, how much money am I costing myself? Give me a break. For instance, when I first bought shares of Apple back in 2013, I got them for a now split adjusted price of $15.13 per share. Do you think that even for a minute that I know or even care that I could have gotten those shares for 25 or 50 cents per share cheaper than what I actually did? No, not a chance. It makes no difference to my current returns on that stock. So you can rest easy. There is no major problem with investing at M1 Finance or having your accounts there. M1 Finance is not going to cost you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in lost returns because of the prices your orders get filled at. That does not mean there aren't problems with M1 Finance though. And in a video I will have coming soon, it will be right up here when I actually make it, I will go over what I think actually is the biggest problem with M1 Finance. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that when it posts. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.